Hey everybody, in this tutorial I'm going to go over how to upgrade your Robo R1 Plus to have a screen controller on it so you can control the printer without being tethered to a computer. Purchasing links for the screen I used as well as software downloads will be listed in the description. Alright, so let's jump right into it. The first thing you want to do is remove the bottom panel of your printer, and make sure to unplug the fan attached to the bottom panel before fully removing the panel. Next, unplug the cable for the SD card reader and set it aside. You won't need this part anymore because the smart screen controller already has an SD card reader built into it. Now, open up the package containing your screen. It should contain a screen, 2 ribbon cables, and an expansion card. Then, use the ribbon cables to connect the screen to the expansion card, and make sure both sides are labeled the same. In my case, the labels were EXP1 and EXP2. Next, connect the expansion card to the control board. Make sure to do this carefully so that you don't bend the pins at the bottom. Now, route the ribbon cables through the slot that used to be for the SD card reader. Now you can reattach the bottom panel of the printer, and don't forget to plug in the fan that's mounted to the bottom panel. At this point your screen controller is installed. However, if you power the printer on, the screen controller will not work. It will likely just display a blue screen. So now in order to get the screen functioning correctly, we'll need to go in and upgrade the printer firmware. So connect the printer to the computer using the included USB cable. Okay, so to upgrade the firmware for your Robo R1 Plus, you're going to have the Arduino IDE installed. If you don't already have that, you can go to the website and download it for your OS. I have Windows, so that's what I got. And the next thing you're going to need is the Robo R1 firmware, and the link is in the description, but if you just click on this link right here, you can download all the files you need and extract them to a folder. And the last thing we're going to need, we're just going to preemptively do this, is download the U8 GLIB Arduino library. So this library isn't included by default in the Arduino IDE, but we still need it to actually build the software in order to use the controller that we got. So just download that, and if you don't know how to install libraries, you can just go open up your Arduino IDE, and there in the sketch tab you can do include library and add .zip library. So that's how you can do that. I've already done that, so I won't do it again, but at this point let's open up the firmware. So wherever you extracted the firmware, just open that folder and open the file that says Robo 3D R1 Plus V2. Alright, so if we look at this file, there's a lot of tabs in here. It looks really complicated, but all we need to do is go into the configuration.h tab, and to make this even easier, you can type in reprap, and when you do control find, go to the section that we need to deal with, and you'll see that right here it says define reprap discount smart controller. That one is uncommented. That's another controller that is available for this line of printers, or a lot of printers, but we don't have that smart controller. What we do have, what we purchased, is the reprap discount full graphics smart controller. So what we want to do is comment the discount smart controller and uncomment the reprap discount full graphics smart controller. And so that's pretty much all you have to do with regards to editing the firmware. So at this point you want to connect to your printer via USB. Make sure you have the right board selected. It's the Arduino Mega. Once you connect to your printer, it will show up in the COM ports, and you should be ready to just upload the software. Now disconnect the printer from the computer and power it up. You should see a welcome screen display on the smart controller, as well as a status screen that shows up right after. If you want to see a quick demo of if your smart controller works or not, you can go to the Prepare tab and then click on Auto Home, and then the printer should go through the standard auto homing procedures. So this next part of the video shows you how to add a case to the controller you just installed. It isn't completely necessary to do this, but it is kind of a nice to have because it hides away all the exposed circuitry. And you can find the link to the 3D printing files for this case at the Thingiverse link in the description. So that's pretty much it. Now in order to use your printer, all you need to do is load your G-codes onto an SD card and plug them into the smart controller. And beyond that, you should be able to access most of the printer functions you need to without having to tether a computer to it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you found this tutorial useful, please like and subscribe and stay tuned because I have a few more videos in this tutorial series for upgrades that I personally found useful for this printer.